Hey, English learners! Welcome back to Learn English with Chan and Cherry, the perfect place to get comfortable with your English. I'm Cherry.
Hello, Cherry, and hello, everyone. I'm Chan. How are you today, Cherry?
I'm doing great, Chan. Actually, I was just talking to myself in the kitchen this morning.
Talking to yourself, Cherry. Are you okay?
I'm totally okay. I was practicing English, out loud, all alone.
Wait, people actually do that? Talk to an empty room in English?
Yes, and today that's exactly our topic, how to practice speaking English alone.
Okay, now I'm curious, because to be honest, I always thought you need another person to practice speaking.
That's what most learners think, but I'm going to show you why that's not true at all.
All right, I'm ready. But real quick, let's remind our listeners first.
Yes, please do that.
Hey everyone, if this podcast is helping your English, please subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. It really helps us reach more learners like you.
And share it with a friend who's learning English too. Okay, Chan, let's dive in.
Let's go. So, Cherry, why do we even need to practice alone? Isn't talking to a real person better?
Talking to a real person is great, yes, but here's the problem. Most learners only get maybe 10 minutes a day with another person.
That's true for me. I barely find someone to talk to in English.
Exactly. So what happens the other 23 hours of the day?
I guess I just stay quiet in English.
Right, and that silence is actually your biggest enemy.
Wait, silence is the enemy? That sounds dramatic, Cherry.
A little dramatic, yes, but true. Your mouth needs movement, Chan, like a muscle.
You mean like exercise for my mouth?
Exactly like exercise. If you don't move a muscle, it gets weak. Same with your speaking muscles.
Okay, that makes sense. So talking alone keeps the muscle strong.
Yes, and here's the interesting part. Talking alone actually removes your biggest fear.
What fear?
The fear of making mistakes in front of someone.
Oh, wow, yeah. That fear is huge for me. My heart literally races when I talk to a native speaker.
I remember that feeling too. Actually, let me tell you a story.
Yes, please. I love your stories.
So, years ago, I had a student named Arjun. Sweet guy, very smart, but terrified to speak.
Terrified? Like couldn't say a word?
Almost. In class, he would freeze completely. His brain would just go blank.
I know that feeling. My brain goes blank too sometimes.
So one day I told him, stop trying to speak perfectly in class. Go home and talk to your mirror instead.
His mirror? Like actually talk to himself in the mirror?
Yes, I told him, describe your day to the mirror every single night, 5 minutes only.
And did he actually do it?
He did, and you won't believe what happened next.
Tell me.
3 weeks later, he came to class and spoke for 2 full minutes without stopping.
2 minutes straight? From someone who couldn't even speak before?
Yes, and he told me, Cherry, the mirror doesn't judge me, so my brain relaxed.
Wow, that's actually beautiful. So the mirror trick removes the fear of judgment.
Exactly. And here's the interesting part, Chan. This is where things change for most learners.
What do you mean?
Once the fear is gone, your words start flowing naturally. You stop translating in your head.
Oh, I get it. Because usually I think in my language first, then translate, then speak. It's so slow.
Right, and that's exhausting. But alone practice trains your brain to think directly in English.
Okay, Cherry, so mirror talking is one method. What else can I do?
Great question. Let's talk about self-narration. Have you heard of that?
You mean like talking about what I'm doing right now?
Exactly. While you're cooking, say it out loud. I'm cutting the onions. Now I'm adding oil to the pan.
That sounds a little strange, but okay.
It feels strange at first, I promise, but your brain slowly builds a habit of thinking in English throughout the day.
Okay, imagine this for our listeners. You're getting ready in the morning, brushing your teeth, making coffee.
Yes, just narrate it. I'm brushing my teeth. The water is cold today. Simple sentences, no pressure.
I actually love this idea. It's like turning boring moments into practice time.
Exactly, Chan. Every boring moment becomes a golden opportunity.
Okay, what's another method? I need more tools in my toolbox.
All right, here's one of my favorites, shadowing.
Shadowing? That sounds like a spy movie.
A little bit, but it just means copying a speaker exactly right after they speak.
You mean like repeating after a YouTube video?
Yes, exactly that. Play a short video, pause, and repeat exactly what they said. Same speed, same tone.
Wait, even the same emotion and rhythm?
Yes, that's actually the magic part. You're not just copying words, you're copying the music of English.
Oh, interesting. So it's not just about vocabulary, it's about rhythm too.
Exactly. Actually, let me tell you something funny that happened with shadowing.
Oh no, here comes another story. I'm ready.
So, I had another student, Maria, from Brazil. She started shadowing a British news reporter.
Okay, and?
A month later, she started sounding British, like full British accent, very proper.
Wait, seriously? Just from copying one reporter?
Seriously, her classmates started teasing her, calling her the Queen.
That's hilarious, but also amazing, honestly.
It shows how powerful shadowing is. Your mouth literally learns new patterns by repeating them.
Okay, I'm definitely trying this tonight. But Cherry, what if I don't know if I'm saying something correctly?
Great question. This brings us to recording yourself.
Oh, recording. That sounds scary. I hate hearing my own voice.
Everyone hates their own voice at first, trust me, but it's actually your best teacher.
You mean like recording myself talking, then listening back?
Exactly. Record 30 seconds about anything, your day, your dreams, your favorite food.
And then?
Then listen carefully. You'll notice things. Maybe you say too much, or maybe your grammar slips.
Wait, isn't that a bit harsh, though? Judging myself like that?
No, it's not judging, it's observing, like a coach watching game footage.
Oh, I like that comparison. Like an athlete reviewing their own match.
Exactly. Footballers watch themselves to improve. Why shouldn't English learners do the same?
That's actually motivating, not scary anymore.
And here's the interesting part, Chan. After a few weeks, you'll go back and listen to your old recordings.
And?
You'll be shocked. You'll think, wow, did I really speak like that before?
Really? You can actually hear your own progress?
Absolutely. It's the best proof that you're improving, better than any test score.
Okay, Cherry, I have a question, though. What if I just don't know what to talk about? My mind goes empty.
Oh, that happens to everyone. That's why I suggest picture prompts.
Picture prompts? You mean like looking at a photo and describing it?
Yes, find any random photo online. A beach, a busy street, anything.
And then just describe what I see?
Exactly. I see a woman walking her dog. The sky looks cloudy today. Simple describing builds confidence fast.
Oh, that's smart. Because I don't need to think of a topic, the picture gives me one.
Precisely. And here's a fun challenge, Chan. Imagine you're a tour guide.
A tour guide? Like showing people around?
Yes, walk around your own house and imagine explaining it to a foreign guest. This is my kitchen, this is where I relax.
That's actually really fun. I'm imagining tourists in my living room now.
Exactly that energy. Playfulness removes pressure, and pressure is what kills speaking confidence.
True. To be honest, I think pressure is my biggest problem, not grammar.
You're right, Chan, and that's actually the biggest secret in this whole topic.
Wait, what secret?
Speaking alone isn't really about grammar practice, it's about building comfort and reducing fear.
Oh, wow. I never thought of it that way. I always thought alone practice was just less effective than talking to a real person.
Actually, it's the opposite. Alone practice prepares your brain and mouth, so when a real conversation comes, you're ready.
That makes so much sense now. It's like training before the actual game.
Exactly like that. Nobody plays their first football match without practicing alone first.
True, true. Okay, Cherry, one last question. How long should someone practice alone every day?
Even 10 minutes is powerful, Chan. Consistency matters more than duration.
So even busy people can do this.
Absolutely. Brush your teeth and narrate it. Walk to work and describe the street. Small moments add up fast.
I love that. It doesn't feel like homework, it feels like a lifestyle.
Exactly, Chan. English becomes part of your daily life, not just a class you attend.
Okay, quick recap for our listeners. Mirror talking, self-narration, shadowing, recording yourself, and picture prompts.
Perfect summary, Chan. 5 simple tools, and all of them just need you, alone, and a few minutes.
Honestly, this episode changed how I think about practice. I always thought I needed a partner.
You are your own best partner, Chan. Always remember that.
I love that line, Cherry. Okay, everyone, now it's your turn.
Yes, try one method tonight. Maybe talk to your mirror or describe your dinner out loud.
And tell us in the comments, which method are you trying first?
We'd love to hear your stories, just like Arjun and Maria's stories today.
Thank you so much for listening to Learn English with Chan and Cherry.
See you in the next episode. Keep practicing, keep talking, even if it's just to yourself.
Bye, everyone.